Hey everybody, welcome back. Here we are, playing some a little binding of I forgot the name of the game. I'm also like, hey, what am I doing over here? Why am I on the screen? That's not how we do things on YouTube. We gotta go back to this screen region right here. I'm too into the streamer mode. I've popped up in the morning and now you're possibly a little bit confused. Just give it a second. Give it a second. We're gonna hit this slick transition. Then I hit this button right here. It did not work. Hold on, studio, but there. Hey, okay. I was wondering what was going on there. Now, let's see who we're gonna play as today. Look at this, Magdalene. True ending. Magdalene. Every time I say her full name, first off, it obviously means I'm mad at her. I also apologize. I have some voice cracking. I'm over whatever, acute bronchitis had inflicted itself upon me. However, when you get over it, your body starts healing, starts rebuilding some of that throat matter that got destroyed. You know what I'm talking about, fellas? You know what I'm talking about? And occasionally you get a little scratchy as a result of that. But you can tell the energy levels are high. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Having a good time. You don't even have to lie. It's always a good time. I had a good joke right off the bat. I forgot what it was. It was gonna be slick, man. Oh yeah, it's not a good joke now that I think about it. But every time I think about Maggie's full name, I think of that song that's like, when I am over Valerie, Valerie. Why don't you start with Yum Heart? Doesn't she start with? I thought she started with a speed upgrade too, but I must be mistaken. My mistake. It's okay. Come on in here. You gotta check. You gotta check. Honestly, even if you hit me, I'm invincible, so I'm not sweating it. Thought I walked on the spikes there. How's everybody doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking me. Oh, no problem. It's a Thursday. Just finished a day. I vowed that I would not stream Super Auto Pets today after streaming a little bit of it. After streaming a little bit of it every other day this week, and I'm happy to say that between Inscription and Crosswords and the new Mario Party Superstars, I have managed to fulfill that goal. Now, will there be a bounce back effect? Are we going to yo-yo diet ourselves into a position where we're playing 5 hours of Super Auto Pets tomorrow? No, I don't think so. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Well, there's a chance, okay? But I'm going to, for now... There's lots of stuff. I'm enjoying, like, Inscription. I'm actually, I don't do this too much. But I'm taking the opportunity to savor it, man. Because it keeps hitting me with, like, newfound mysteries. Can you just... I just want you to, like... Come on, man. I just wanted to get to the second secret room. Oh, it wasn't even there in the first place. I really wish I had my bomb for this. Like, I know it's... I wouldn't necessarily say it's, like, antithetical to the Twitch experience, but, like... that. And I'm not knocking the average Twitch streamer, you know? I think they have some strengths versus my stream. They have some weaknesses versus my stream. I'll perform a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats analysis for sure on myself. Strengths, good banter. Strong community, great consistency. Good network of people to stream with who get the vibe. Weaknesses, low uptime. That's a big one. Insular community can be hard to get into. If you are not if you're not already in it, it can seem a little bit impenetrable with some inside jokes and so on and so forth. Low marketability to younger generations, and I don't mean younger than myself. I mean, kids who are maybe like 13 years old right now. I'm not probably the #1 choice of YouTuber or Twitch streamer. That's a given. And also only capturing a small subset of the audience that is watching, between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And opportunities. Maybe they'll make an Isaac 2 at some point. Threats? Sciatica. Sciatica! Every once in a while, my lower back gets a little bit of like an electrical feeling to it. But I'm hoping, like, now that I'm on the new schedule, I've been working, like, recording during the new schedule thus far. Next week, things are going to open up even more. This has been a nice little trial period. Next week, things are going to open up even more. Start working some exercise back into the rotation. Take care of my mental. Oh, baby, man. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay, Censor's actually kind of sick. We don't mind. Leave me. That's beautiful. That's also kind of beautiful. I think we got to go yeah, and then leave, and then 7 soul hearts or 30 coins. It's just that easy. Thanks for the 7 soul hearts, as they're heretofore known. And we'll come back and we'll probably play that that judgment once we get a little bit more... Oh, come on. That's just embarrassing. Once we get a little bit more red heart action, which should come fast and furious thanks to the heart here. So we'll check this real quick. Yeah, why not? I mean, this being a tier 2 item is a little bit suspicious, a little sus IMO, because it's not that good, but it's something. I think it's like genuinely kind of bad, but it's very, very funny. And that's worth something to me. So yeah, probably sciatica. That or like, you know, I don't know. I can't really think of it. I don't know. The real, I think the T of the SWOT analysis is more like, you know, Amazon deciding like, well, thank you for participating. The 10-year Twitch experiment is now over. We decided this was a foolhardy gamble the whole time. See you later. At which point, I think a few years ago, the thought of that terrified me and drove me into night classes where I learned how to write code in Swift 3. Anyway, no offense, Apple, if you're watching this. Tim Cook. What do we got here? No offense, but like, can you just make a language as elegant as C#? And then now I think I would just kind of be like, you know what, fair. You gave it a fair shake. I can't be mad. Okay, we've already seen our angel rune. In that case, I think the way that we win best is by coming down here. And we don't have a key, so we can't get into our shop. Definitely should have saved our keys so we could have gotten into the shop. Secret room most likely to be here. Success. 2 keys. That allows us to go into the shop. We're going to go into the shop first because going into the shop may allow us to get something like the piggy bank, which would allow us to get some money if we get hit by this beggar. This is also really good, honestly. I think I'm just going to slot me one of those and just give me one of these as well, just so we're kind of good to go. I don't want to spend, you know, 10 years playing this beggar back here. I want to give him a chance. I want to spend some time in the room. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that up. Okay, what do you got for me? What do you got for me? You got some. No, you got something in there. What do you got for me? You know what? 1 in 15 chance for a 0.5 damage up when killing an enemy? Can I tell you, that's way better than I thought it was. That's also really good. We could have played this a couple more times, I guess, for no reason, but... yeah, I didn't think that Samson's lock was that good. I know it only lasts for that room, but you could see that could realistically, on long boss fights, like particularly Hush, for example, that could lead to like a 1.5 to 2 damage increase, which actually could make the difference. Like, or at least make a difference in your overall enjoyment of what's happening. I'm inclined to take it from useless level to like half decent. Like, I would elevate it from the, like, a F tier, like, you don't even need to pick it up, to at least the D tier. I mean, it's no curved horn, but, like, it's something. Look at that, we already got one. 1 in 15? Yeah, I mean, on average, you're gonna get, like, half a damage upgrade every 2 rooms. So what most people would probably call that 1 damage upgrade every 4 rooms, but I don't work like that. I don't think like that. You know what? I'm absolutely going in on this. There's no doubt about it. I'll give up all my HP. Because it's not about the spirit hearts. It's about the angel deals. So this is the 33% chance. You piece. This is a 33% chance. You piece. Leave me. Leave me. Leave me. Oh no, I didn't leave in time. It spawned every bomb. Oh, we found a secret room though. How about that? I don't think you can even give me a drop, but let's just take a look. Thank God, by the way, you're not an enemy. That could have gone, like, a little worse. So I think we gotta step back up. And then I would probably just chill for a minute. I would chill till you get your charge back here on your Yum Heart. And once that happens, you're probably in the clear. I know this looks dangerous. Like, right now, we basically went to the casino. We didn't get what we wanted, but we went to the casino. Hopefully, later, the casino will get back to us. Try buying one of these. Oh, no. I don't know if I can go back in there. To be honest with you, I think maybe we would do better to just leave. Okay, that sucked. Take me out. That was scary, man. We weren't gonna die, but we could very easily have put ourselves in a position where dying was not unlikely after that. Anyway, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Afternoons are, like, you know, wide open now. Can I tell you a funny kid story? I'm finally starting to get some funny kid stories. Feels good. Our daughter has been saying a lot more words, okay? So, like, the way that a baby typically... And there's a range, you know, I'm not trying to make anybody self-conscious, because I understand that that's, you know, kind of how, like, the parent... meta works. You know, you go to activity gym and, you know, and you see another kid and they're like they're standing up on their own, maybe even starting to take some steps, and you go like, hey, wow, that's so amazing for you, Jenna. Wow, so amazing. How old is Jenna, by the way? Oh, she's like a week older than my daughter. My daughter's not doing that. Good job, Jenna. But then in your head, you're like, you better take a freaking step this week. I'm joking, obviously, but like, I'm half joking. It's on your mind, right? So, but she's been making, you know, around like maybe 8 months, they start to make, like, they babble, they make some noise, and then they maybe pick up like a couple of words that they sort of know, and they can understand your language a little better. So, but it's kind of like, you know, that comic that's like, what's up, little guy? And then the little guy in the comic says something, you know, like, profits are the unpaid wages of the working class, and it just goes on and on and on. And then it goes back to the smiley face dude, and he goes, yeah, that's kind of what it's like with a baby. Is, you know, she'll talk for like what would be the equivalent of a full sentence for an adult, but it won't make any sense, obviously. And then you just kind of go, yeah, absolutely, that sounds good. Hey, if it works for you, it works for me. But she's really been like kind of, and Kate tweeted about this, but she's kind of been going like, and I have to tell you that it sounds, it's not one-to-one, but the closest English word that it sounds like is the B word, you know, a female dog, or like what Jesse Pinkman says after he says science, you know what I mean? So Kate and I were kind of like, you know, we do swear occasionally in the house, mostly like while we're streaming, and the baby's like, you know, in another part of the estate at that point. Excuse me? Thank you. So we were like, I genuinely in my life, I don't think that she has picked up any cussing from us. I swear this to you. But it does sound like it, and we've been trying to like get her to stop saying it, but how do you get a baby to stop saying like one of the only, you know, words they say on a regular basis? But anyway, for a while, it was just fun. You know, we were kind of like, oh, ha ha ha, you can't say that. But then I picked her up from daycare the other day, and the daycare provider was like, you know, she's been saying this word like buzz something, like be, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I think it's like, I think she's trying to say fish, because it kind of like sounds like that at the end. And she's like, no, I don't think so. I think it starts with a B. And I'm trying to figure out if she thinks we're teaching our daughter cusses, or if she genuinely doesn't know what she thinks she's saying. Like, it's a complicated game of incomplete information right now. But I was put in that panic state of of the dad who was like, no, I don't think she's saying the B word. No, I think she's saying like batch, because I'm always talking about like this small batch cold brew that I get, the small batch. The Bad Batch. Who's a Bad Batch? She's talking about the Bad Batch on Disney Plus. It's her favorite show, the Bad Batch, that Star Wars show. Anyway, so that's look, there's some banter, there's some anecdotes. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, let's just grab this. I mean, this is really slow. I do not mind leaving some trinkets behind, though. You know what? Booker Tears is really, really, really good. I'm gonna keep the Booker Tears just because it seems like we're not getting angel deals. Or sorry, we're not getting devil deals. Instead, we're getting angel deals. So this seems sensible to me. I'm now just realizing that it might actually be, and I hate to say it, this is genuinely the first time that it's popped into my brain. She genuinely might be saying, like, holy bursh, and now I would rather cop to the fact that she's swearing than try to explain, well, you see, like a friend of mine who happens to be a streamer, which is like this thing that you can do on the internet where you like live stream yourself entertaining people playing video games, kind of like a modern day Pagliacci type thing. Also, he won a Big Brother. No, not Big Brother Canada, the real one. And then he went on again and he came in second, but he really should have won. But he was watching videos of people opening Magic the Gathering cards. So what are Magic the Gathering cards? Magic the Gathering is like a collectible card game. It's kind of like, if you're familiar with Pokemon cards, it's like that, but like even one step nerdier. So he was watching somebody open the Pokemon cards, and he saw them open up a Pokemon card, or saw the Magic cards. He saw them open up a Magic card that is worth, I don't know, something like $50,000 USD. Yeah, I know. I don't really understand why the secondary market is like that. Like, part of the reason is that it's a card that is more powerful than anything they would print to this day. So it has a lot of utility if you can play it in a format called Legacy, which allows older cards to be played. Also, Blizzard said they, not Blizzard, Wizards said that they would never reprint it, so as a result, it's on this thing called the reserve list, so people that own it have some kind of safety that it's not just going to get deflated by being reprinted and having the supply go to the moon. And then the other reason is genuinely speculation, because there's like a lot of people that are in, the Magic the Gathering hobby, or even the Magic the Gathering industry, that kind of treat it a little bit like a collectible market or a stock market or something like that. So you can see it almost like the same way there's like a secondary market for sneakers, but imagine you could also use those sneakers to, win some bonus packs of Friday Night Magic or something like that. So essentially, while he opened it, he was so excited, he said, holy bursh, which is a statement that doesn't have any inherent sense, but then my friend started saying it, and then he put it on his soundboard. As a result, it entered my lexicon, I started saying it, and ergo, my baby probably heard me saying holy bursh, and as a result, there you go. That's, like, I would rather just be like, yeah, she's got a foul mouth. My dad's a sailor. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Okay, we actually got a deal. Deserved. The deals are all bad. I award you no points. May God have mercy on your soul. I don't want to take them. I kind of want to take a look for like a self-sacrifice room. We got to pave our own way here. Anyway, you can pave your own way, pave your own way. You can say the B word when you're at daycare. Don't say the B word at the daycare. The Empress. I know Empress. Hold on. You stay in... No, it gives you the sun. 2 red hearts and a nice little tears upgrade for 1 minute. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I kind of just want to pop that right now because I'm annoyed at my current DPS. So it's probably not, like, the right way to game, but it's the way we're going to game right now because I really feel like I've deserved it. I think I've deserved a little treat here. So for 1 minute, let's just have a fun time, shall we? How does that sound to you? Sounds great to me. Thank you for asking. So yeah, new schedule. I mean, I'll admit maybe it's a little naive to look at something as simple as a new schedule and think that it's gonna, like, change my life, but just having some time legitimately has started to It's helped me out a lot. Let's just put it that way. Like last night, I actually had time. It's the first time in a year and a half or so that I was actually, like, I had the free space in my life to be bored, and it felt kind of sick. I finished, like, my YouTube work at maybe 7:40, and then I was like, what am I gonna do? I took down the garbage, I took down the recycling, I took down the compost, and then I was like, I still don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. So I played some Super Auto Pets, and I was like, oh man, I've been playing Super Auto Pets on my phone for so long, like, I should probably, like, see if I have to go to bed. It was like 8:40. I was like, I don't even know what to do. But it was nice to have that space, honestly. Now, you know, the one thing I don't want to do, I've talked about it before, but as an adult, I don't think you want to fill space too quickly, because the truth of adult life is that things just fill into that space if you let them. You know, you're into working out, you take a month off for whatever reason, maybe you hurt yourself. Happens now and then. Maybe you tore your meniscus running along Vancouver's beautiful seawall. Please. Health up. You like this? Oh, HP up, tears down. I don't like to see that, but that's okay. Full health. Sure, just pop it. Health up. Sure, why not? And we were not going to take a Curse of the Tower here, but then you think like, oh, it's cool. In a month, I'll start going at it again. Nah, man, you're going to fill it up with something else. I'm telling you. Same thing, I used to ride my bike a lot, got a little bit sick, took like a month off from riding my bike, it all fell apart. Dark bum. I don't remember what I filled it with, you just, you know, team fight tactics maybe. Things pop up and the space tends to get filled, so I'm not actively trying to fill it up too much, because I'm trying to avoid the adult time management cycle, which is where you aren't that busy, so you say, I gotta do something, and then you put, and I've been very guilty of this, pretty much like on an endless cycle since, I don't know, 2012, something like that. You say, I'm not that busy, I need to do something. You start, oh my god, thank you, Egghead. My mistake, shouldn't have stood there. You start doing something, and then the reason you had the free time to begin with falls away. Like maybe it was summer vacation, and now, or you know, a summer break from night classes or something like that. You're like, I need a hobby. You got a hobby. Night classes come back. All of a sudden, you're like wedged at the margins again. You're like, I can't do anything. You cut something out of your schedule, and then you're like, oh, I got a little free time. I should put something in there. So I think a lot of being an adult is just doing that until you die. Just like, you know, 50, 60 years of doing that, and then, you know, then you're ready to go. I'm trying to avoid that, because I think a little bit of empty space in the day, if you can finagle it, is important for, like, your mental health, and also your ability to pursue things. You know, like, the idea that, like, I guess here's what I would say, okay? And I fight, I mean, not fight with chat, but I fight sometimes against what chat says to, like, protect my free time. I am busy. I am not too busy to do everything that I could do right now. But if I did everything that I could do, I would be too busy to be happy. So I'm protecting that little bubble. You know what I mean? She came down in a bubble, Doug. I'm protecting that little nugget of cushion, you know, that air gap that preserves the quality of day. I think there's something to that. I don't have anything more than that, but I think there's something to it. Thank you for a card, honestly, because, like, we're not, you know, I mean, we don't have any space for anything else. So I quit bragging. Okay, sorry. I told you a funny story, then I would self-aggrandize. It's a fair trade. It's not that funny. Oh, and then she pooped her pants and said, uh-oh, stinky. I could make stuff up if you want. If you want me to just make stuff up, that could be a new thing that we do. I was at the store the other day. You ever noticed how at the store? Don't even get me. They call it a self-checkout. I scan something. It says wait for attendant. If I wanted to wait for an attendant, I wouldn't have gotten in line for the self-checkout. So, you know, I'm holding the microphone like Jerry Seinfeld right now. When I'm Seinfeld, I rock the mic like a vandal. Holy crap, Egghead protected us again. I'm accidentally so good at this game. Can you just give me like a damage upgrade here? Because like this is, we're hitting the point where you're just kind of like, I recognize that we have the pact, but the rest, we've had so many opportunities for like items to be not horrible, and then they kind of like, we're just a little, like not necessarily horrible, but just kind of like insanely boring and slow. So if you could just hook me up here. I mean, like, we're at 23 minutes. We're on the depths 1. I got a 11 plus HP, so I'm not crying about it. Like, that's very nice. But it would really, like, help me out. I would absolutely love if you just gave me, like a self-sacrifice room. Or, yeah, you know what an Eddie room, if you will. Curse room we've already been to. I don't care if we lose our bone heart. We got too much HP to worry about that. Like, I would have loved to have seen Succubus, man. How do you get hit here? When there's moving so slow. I would have loved to have seen Succubus. Alas, we did not see Succubus. It's a beautiful day. It's one of those days where you just look, you know what? This is actually a great proof of concept. Even though I'm like kind of annoyed by the fact this is the slowest Isaac run you're ever going to see, I'm stoked by the fact that because I'm recording this not, you know, at 8 a.m. and I have to do another Isaac and another Super Auto Pets before 11, and even then, if it gets tight to the margins, like I won't be able to eat before my stream, and then I'll come in the stream a little bit grumpy, and then someone's like, "You're 2 minutes late," and I'll be like, "Listen here, you piece of crap. You don't know what it's like to be me. Streamers have the hardest job on planet Earth. Don't even talk to me about it." So, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of nice that even if things take functionally like a very similar amount of time, just feeling like you're not as rushed. That's the dream, man. Like, it's just, it's unparalleled comfort is what it is. I'm begging you, though. Like, because this run is a slog right now. 99 bombs would be kind of sick. If we could get a secret room that has 99 bombs in it, I could stop crying for 5 seconds, I think. Let's see. Okay, sure. I mean, we're going to keep one key for sure. You know what? You did me a solid there. Now we got 2 keys. We gave it our all. I would love, like, blue candle. I would love, I mean, I guess you don't buy money equals power, so never mind. But, like, a blue candle. Okay, hold on. Depths 1. 4 soul hearts. What a rip. We really don't want that, unfortunately. I wish that we did, because, I mean, the irony, of course, is if we were 1 floor earlier, this wouldn't be a problem. So I do have to say, like, I'm not trying to rag on Isaac in the slightest, especially on this, the most hallowed of all days. It's finally, I think, repentance has come to consoles now. Big ups to the console crowd. This game, by the way, like, I'm a Isaac on PC guy. I'm such a psycho. I use keyboard mouse even, but it plays well on consoles. I played a lot of Rebirth on the Vita. Played a lot of, well, I played a little Rebirth on like the Switch, I think. I don't know. I always, it's weird for me to think like how old the Switch is. I'm like, they came out in like 2012, right? Or was it like last year? It's one of the two. It's either 2012 or last year. Alright, it's very disappointing. Insubordinate and churlish. I don't even think I'm gonna... You know what? We got one chance, man. Use your last key. Get 3 spiders. Like, so what I was gonna say is that this is like... When I talked about Isaac, you know, it's probably... Its sunset is on the horizon. Closer to the sunset than the sunrise. Let's put it that way. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, we've had a lot of really good runs. Don't get me wrong. And we've had a lot of runs with a lot of fun happening as a result of them. But there's also the occasional run that shows up. And can I just say something in Isaac's defense for a second? Isaac is better about this than almost any other roguelite on the planet. A lot of roguelites out there, if you're gonna force my hand, and we're skipping this item because I want to keep some space for Spirit Hearts, even though I don't have one right now. A lot of roguelites out there. It's all right. I didn't want a blood bank anyway. Are not even really that fun when you're winning. There's just some, like, a lot of roguelites, you get to the point, and this is not Gungeon, this is not Dead Cells, this is like your, 7 out of 10 roguelite that came out on Steam. Sometimes you get some runs that are, like, cool and fun, but then sometimes you're like, I'm just too strong, this is boring. I've never really had that happen in Isaac. I'm always, if a run is, like, too good, I'm like, oh, I must have done something nice in a past life to deserve this. But it does still suffer the issue that a lot of roguelites do, where, like, I mean, it's just no fun to not have any strength. I know we got the pact, but, like, are you really, because this comes up, he's complaining about the run, and yet he's got booger tears and the pact? Well, yeah, I'm complaining about it because, we're on 28 minutes here. Like, that's just, it's basically 50% of the speed that you would I expect to be in the range of, and we're not even really there yet. Like, it'll probably end up being even slower than that by the time we get going. Now, this is where we've guilt-tripped the game, so they hook us up with some, like an Ipecac or something in here, and then I just steamroll, and then I feel bad, and the optics are bad, but that's almost Ipecac. Hey, +2 damage up for one eye. I'm not complaining. It's something. But I will say, this is just like... Look, I know what the randomizer said. The randomizer said fight the beast. The beast on a good run is annoying because of the amount of time that the final boss fight takes, the tankiness of the horsemen, and so on and so forth. I'm not... look, if we get something awesome, or even kinda good here, I would probably consider it, but... For the time being, I'm just gonna say, like, that's not necessary. We'll just make this like a streamer room run. There's Marbles. Marbles coming through in the clutch. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Thank you again. Nice little tears upgrade. Now we're starting to think. There might be something to this. Thank you so much. Troll bombs. We'll just tough this one out. We don't have to leave the room on that one. We want to leave the room on this one. This is the big play. Sure, kind of. I guess, now that I think about it. I'm super stoked we got the tears upgrade. Like, that's pretty sick. But, I mean, I think you get my point. I don't think you need me to go too much more into detail on it. This, by the way, I had, like, almost... and this is just me speaking frankly, right? I'm not trying to, like, reflect anything negatively on a game that is, one of my favorite games of all time. It dawned on me the other day, because I was talking to Bear Taffy about Darkest Dungeon 2, and I was saying my honest opinion on Darkest Dungeon 2, which is that I think that is a really cool game. I could see myself playing a lot of it off-stream, and I think that in time it might get to the point where it's a little bit more compelling for the streamer and the viewer, but I don't see myself necessarily... Well, I was going to say I don't see myself streaming that much more of it yet. It is in early access, please note. But I might actually. But, like, I've been, like, it's been on the back burner for a bit just because it, I don't know, it hasn't grabbed me yet for whatever reason. And then Bear was like, I hear what you're saying. I agree with some of it. I disagree with some of it. But, I'm still playing it on stream every day. And I said, buddy, don't let me stop you. I played Afterbirth Plus every day for, like, 4 years with no sign of new content on the horizon. And I kind of thought about it, and I was like, man, that's insane. And I'm not even knocking Afterbirth Plus, which I think is not Isaac's best version, but gets a bad rap. But still, like, man, we've only been playing Repent. Like, in some ways, I think that, and I love Repentance. They did such a good job. It's basically the best DLC for Isaac you ever could have asked for, I think, if you're a fan of the game. There's some stupid stuff like Birthright, like, should not have been put in the game, I think, until it works with everybody. And, you know, I'm not... well, I was going to say I'm not that fond of some of the characters, but I think you got to be fair and recognize, like, you know, so what? They added, like, 20 characters. A couple of them are not so good. Whatever. Life goes on. Sorry, I got the dry throat. I got the dry throat. Anyway. But, man, more Afterbirth Plus runs were like this than I care to remember, quite frankly. I think that Repentance, in some ways, you know, which has only been out for 6 months or so, is... my opinion of it is suffering because I burned myself out a little bit on Afterbirth Plus. Which is to say, please note as well, I still think Repentance is sick, but I think that I have a shorter fuse when Repentance spits me a run that's just kind of, like, boring. Especially when we're about to lose our deal with the Angel here. Than I otherwise would have because of the fact that I spent so much time going through it with Afterbirth Plus. Anyway. Just keep walking backwards. I mean, again, it's just one of those things where I'm like, what's going on with that eyeball? It's one of those things where I'm like, you know, you can look at the items we have and be like, this run isn't so bad, and it isn't from a win-loss perspective. Or you can look at the time it's taking us to get through this one boss fight, and, you know, how we're hearing parts of the music we've never heard before in our entire lives, and you can be like, okay, I'm gonna take his word for it. I think you should just go to the Blue Baby fight. Oh, come on! Whatever. Copium, he's still got 0.4% chance. 1 and 2, pick a number between 1 and 250. I chose 23. I'll be honest with you, like, I actually am gonna go to the dark room. Even though it's harder, I feel like, you know, we gotta give ourselves a devil deal if they're not gonna give one to us. Please. I just, like... come on, man. Don't kill my vibe. Ed, don't kill my vibe. Ed, don't kill my vibe. I could kill an enemy from 3... large rooms away. I've got Dark Bum, I've got 73 cents, I've got 3 bombs, but hey. This is the kind of run that's more of like a mental challenge than anything else. Like, this run is like working in a warehouse for 50 years. Like, every room you gotta get up and you gotta go, oh, fine, I'll hit the buttons. Maybe I'm making a short-sighted comparison. It's been suggested. Please? Please me? Thank you. Okay. We desperately need to have a chance to get our Devil or Angel deal. And it has to be an item that is, like, at least it moves the chains. You know what I mean? Like NFL style. We need to get at least a first down here. I'm very good at metaphors, including sports ones. Like, right now, I would say, here's the thing. It's a tie game. So we're not losing. In fact, if anything, it's a tie game. We have the ball. And I'm like kind of Tom Brady mixed with Peyton Manning with, like, Drew Brees in his prime as well. And I would say, like, a little bit of Patrick Mahomes mixed in, and, like, Johnny Unitas as well. And Sure, good, sure. Yeah, you got me, sure. Little LaDainian Tomlinson. Little Sean Alexander, little Edgerrin James mixed in. Okay, I'm gonna play this, and I know this risks our deal with the devil a little bit, but I'm going for it, man. Because I really want this angel or devil deal. Just don't, okay? Like, just have some respect. There we go. What up now, Swedes? Woo! You guys ever see the video? Otherwise, it's just going to seem like a knock on Sweden. I don't mean to... Look, I would never knock Sweden. Vancouver and Sweden have a connection via the NHL. Marcus Naslund, Henrik Sedin, Daniel Sedin, Alex Edler, Elias Pettersson, Nils Hoglander. We got the whole... We're like a little... We got little Stockholm here in Vancouver right now, and I'm living for it. We're having Kanaka broad sandwiches. We're eating Côte de Boulard. I don't think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize. Okay, fine. You know, like, just fine. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh, yeah, it's a clip from, like, an old G4 show where, like, somebody wins a match in Halo, and then they're against a team from Sweden, and they go, "What up now, Swedes? Whoa!" It's kind of a classic. It's kind of me and Mark Russo. Me and Mark frickin' Russo. Look at this line. Look at this line. I ain't ever seen a 113. Look at, he tries to shoot me. Did I get the cheeky back boost? I'm very familiar with internet memes. One of the greatest internet memers, I would say, on the planet. If we talking about classics, does my name get brought up? By the way, if we die because I got rid of Yumhart, it was an honor to have at least been put out of my misery in that sense. Now that we got Godhead, though, I think we can't really complain as much for sure. But you know, a Godhead alone is still like you got a ways to go here. But I think that the actual explosive ghosts are kind of sick, actually. I think they're doing some sick, nasty work for us. Don't hit me. It's kind of great. I think this run is kind of goated now. Kind of wish I fought the, excuse me, sir, that was mine. Kind of wish I fought the true ending now. Who would I mean, look, what I should say is that I'm happy that self-sacrifice rooms are good enough that they actually gave us a chance to get out of this, because, like, nothing else was really doing it for us. So, you know what? We just gotta take the positives, man. Look at this. This is kind of popping. It's amazing. You know, it just, now I look like a big baby. I mean, I physically kind of resemble a big baby, don't get me wrong. I am bald. The beard is supposed to help, but now I just kind of look like one of those calendars where they make the babies wear like adult clothes, and you're like, come on, man, that baby can't hold a saxophone. You really think you're going to like a jazz bar, and then they're gonna be like, you know, we got Milton Beale on the sax tonight, and a baby in like an adult-sized fedora comes out and is like, I don't think so, man. Anyway, low-key jazz kind of sick, man. You know, like I'm really into jazz lately. Some of my favorite jazz artists, Sharon Lois and Bram. The Sharon Lois and Bram trio. Oh my God, man! When they get, if you're not familiar with them, look them up. Like I really, in particular, Skinamarink a Dinky Dink. I think you might just find it called Skinamarink on YouTube. That is a bop, and you can really get in. You'll find yourself like, because it's good jazz, you'll find yourself able to predict what's going to happen. I find that's one of the hallmarks of good jazz, is that when you're listening to it, you can't really describe what you expect to hear next, but you know, like, when you hear it, you're like, of course that's what he did there. You know what I'm talking about? Don't talk to me about jazz, man. Raffi, probably one of the best jazz artists of my time. Mr. Dress Up. That would be a fun game. Are they jazz musicians, Canadian children's song recording artists, or professional wrestlers? Mr. Dress Up kind of sounds like a Batman villain from the 1960s TV show. I mean, it's really hard to say no to a 20% damage up when we desperately need it. Like, you can definitely see, like, John Cena given the sharpshooter. I know it's a Bret Hart move. I don't remember what John Cena's finisher is. It's like the "you can't see me" special or something. You can see John Cena given a Stone Cold Stunner, followed by the People's Elbow to Mr. Dress Up. You could don't lie to me. You could totally see it. Alright, dude, honestly, this run is, like, insanely cracked now. Did you see the timing on that? I feel bad for ever having complained in the first place that it was kind of bad. The eyeball tears are even popping off now. That's how you know, like, it's just disgusting. Our eyeball tears plus Godhead are, like, you know, dominating for us. We got booger tears helping us out because we smelt it. The smell of it, the taste of it. By the way, thanks for all the kind words on the Stone Cold Steve Austin Powers / Austin Powers 4 bit. I thought it had legs. That was day 1 of the new schedule. I was on cloud 9, man. I couldn't believe that it was 2 p.m. and I was just chilling. It was like a different world. I don't know what to say. We almost lost it on this one. We brought the morale back, which is nice. Mostly by getting one of the best items in the game. Followed by a few items that are also very good and work completely in concert with the other items that we've received on this run, but still. Ooh, I actually don't think we can do that. Just because there's not 2 floors deeper than this one. Like, the only thing I can think of is maybe it would just have us fight, the lamb, which would be fine, but I'm worried it would have us, like, fight Delirium, which would not be fine. Both for my psyche and for, you know, winning the run. Which are both important. I would put winning the run slightly more important than my psyche, but they're both in the ballpark. They're both relevant. Okay. I mean, that's just easy money right there. I'm not sweating this in the slightest. Thank you. Alright, now, this happens literally every time I get a Wheel of Fortune card. I bring it all the way down, and I'm like, okay, finally it's time. We put it down, we pop it, and we say good stuff, and then it spits out consumables. Yes, okay. You know, it had to be done. Holy, I think that's... Look, this might ruin our run, but I gotta try. What the... It's... I don't know how it is. It seems okay. I don't know why it's so short. That's got to do with the eyeballs. I'm gonna just level with you, like, while we're here. Just give me this damage upgrade. That's not even it. I forgot. That's an Afterbirth Plus. Now it only gives you the circles, but I'm just gonna give this a try. I've got like the utmost faith in our ability. I mean, Godhead Maw of the Void still freaking nasty because of the homing circle. And Sensor is like a beautiful defensive item that finally has its greatest opportunity to shine. Of course, I'm also thinking that as we kill more enemies, we will create more ghosts. As we create more ghosts, it becomes easier to kill the enemies. I would say we probably, you know, I'm actually exploring some new mechanics here. It feels nice. It's a very groovy combination. Although, yeah, no, we got a lot of ghosts here. This is good. This, don't hit me. Try to hit me. I'd rather hit you. That's fine. Try to make sure whenever possible we're using the Maw of the Void shot as well. Anybody else, whenever, try to kill you close to the center of the room so we get many ghosts. I thought that would, I honestly in my heart of hearts thought that would crash the game. Anybody else, when you say Maw of the Void, hear Will Ferrell screaming Maw the Meatloaf from Wedding Crashers, or are you normal? That's a just me classic, huh? Maybe not just me, but I'm sure there's one person out there who's always like, it's the way you say it. Ma, the meatloaf! I never know what she's doing. I think maybe we don't use Ma of the Void. Maybe we just, like, whenever possible, maybe we just do something like that. Maybe we got, like, a pretty good rate of fire right now. Just get those tap shots in there. I mean, come on. Like, look at all the Godhead particle effects on top of your head. You mean to tell me you're living through this somehow? Like, I find it hard to believe, quite frankly. It just strikes me as disingenuous. I love that we have range, too. Like, we can... Like, our beam shoots out eyeballs that will eventually get there. Oh, you... Come on. I was gonna say you piece. You caught me. That's a dodge right there. That's a dodge. That's a dodge. I was gonna deliberately take damage and say, and that's a forward, but I didn't want to anger anybody. I didn't want to alienate anybody. My experiences with the Ford Motor Corporation don't necessarily have to be the same as your experiences. please. I mean, how are you alive? I can't fit through the fires. How are you alive? Are you seeing the tears that are on top of you? Thank you. I was sweating it. They caught me sweating a little bit there. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya. See ya.